Guten Morgen, everyone. It's a slow wake up for me. I had a client reschedule this morning, so I didn't have to get up super early. I'm hearing the wind bang the trees outside. I'm testing out my soleus and calves, doing a little foot stretchies right now, and they don't feel bad. So normally after a race where you wear flats or spikes or shoes with very minimal cushioning and zero drop, your soleus can become inflamed. And that's the muscle below the calf that becomes the Achilles tendon. And for me, that's been a chronic issue through my whole young running life all the way through to the present. So I did a couple of workouts in the shoes I was going to race in prior to racing. So a few weeks before the race, I ran in these shoes quickly just to simulate to my body what it was going to be like racing in these shoes. And now, fine. A mistake that a lot of people make is they wear racing shoes only on race day. And then usually 2 days later, their soleus and their feet are really messed up. So make sure you get out there and train some in your racing shoes for a shorter bit of time than you're going to be racing, especially the first time you use them. Gradually increase your exposure to those shoes. And I'm going to gradually increase my exposure to the day. Oh man. Whew. Chilly start, but not too bad. Just pulled this bloated tick off of little Foxy. It's about the size of a black bean. Such a good little fox. What's that tail wagging? You don't like being de-ticked? In this part of the country, checking for ticks is a daily activity regardless of the season. It's below freezing and there's snow on the ground, and yet we and the cats still get ticks. So almost everyone in my family has had Lyme disease several times. My mom just had it her 7th. I've had it 4. My dad, I think, has had it 5, but he's also had Ehrlichia and babesiosis and a few other tick-borne diseases that are nasty. So just like brushing your teeth, we check ourselves and cats. Full body scans. Our kale patch is still looking pretty good despite the cold temps and the snow. As long as you keep the snow off it or it melts in a short period of time, it stays through January. It's winter in the high country. I've spent a good chunk of the morning editing and posting yesterday's video. I got some green tea brewing in the background. I've got a coaching call in 45 minutes, so I'm going to hop on the elliptical and do half an hour. I often break up my elliptical throughout the day, half an hour here, half an hour there, sometimes an hour at a time. Last night, an hour and 50, that's a lot. But I didn't have a chance to get it done earlier in the day. But I prefer to break it up into half hour, 45-minute sessions. It makes it less intimidating that way. And if I'm going to do a half-hour session, I'll watch YouTube. Somebody put a clock in the bathroom next to the toilet. Is this to remind us not to take too much time in here? Not to get lost on our phones while other people are waiting for the bathroom? It's 1:30 and I am about to run to the post office to pay some bills. And I often use running as a way to do errands. I know there's a lot of people running to vote today, which is an awesome idea. I've got a lot of layers on, I think 5 shirts and then a jacket, because it's cold and windy out and I want to be nice and toasty and go out there and explore the world as I do an errand. And maybe later in the day there'll be more running or more ellipticaling. I don't know. I just let it happen. I'm midway through my run and I'm pretty sweaty. And some might say that I'm overdressed, but from my perspective, I've looked at the two evils that I might encounter on this run, being cold and being hot, and I've chosen the lesser of the two evils, being hot or warm or sweaty. To me, that's less of a problem than being cold, because being cold means that the frame that I'm experiencing this run through is that of dominating something, crushing it. I don't want to crush it. I don't want to dominate. I want this run to be gentle. And if I'm warm, I can take a layer off. But if I'm out there and I'm cold, I can't put a layer back on. I've got to suck it up. I've got to take it. I've got to beat it. But with a focus on gentleness and being warm, I can slow down like I'm doing right now. I can walk to make a video. I can take a layer off, and I can just deal with the fact that I'm a little sweaty. No big deal. But I don't have to take discomfort. I don't have to crush it. That's not my goal. The goal is to be gentle. This is Energizer, the home of the Energizer Bunny. When I was a kid, this was Union Carbide, and I'm not sure what they made here, but we were told that it was a secondary target in a nuclear strike because of the technology made here. So growing up, I lived in fear of the Soviets nuking Bennington. And when Ronald Reagan was elected president, I was pretty sure that was going to be the end of the world due to the hostage crisis in Iran. Anyway, that kind of shaped a lot of my young life, this intense fear of the end of the world. We used to practice nuclear drills when I was a kid. We'd have to hide under our desks, and that fear that I was kind of baked in, it shaped me to a large degree, in addition to my insecure attachment, my shyness, etc. I grew up thinking that the end of the world was right around the corner, and part of it was because of this building right here. These apples have somehow survived the cold and not browned. Beautiful. So just getting back from my run. That was 8 miles in 1 hour and 29 minutes. Super comfy, lots of exploration, lots of thinking, moments of walking and filming. And it was really enjoyable despite the cold and wind. And that's how I want my runs to be. I want them to be enjoyable. I want them to add something to my day rather than just crossing off something on a list, like I got my run done. No, I expanded my world. I expected that to be about a 30-minute run, thinking that maybe I would do something later if I felt like it, but it just kept evolving and it grew into 8 miles, which is a surprise, but it was a really positive experience. And the more positive experiences you can have in the midst of movement, the more likely you're to be consistent with that movement. And that's the goal, to be consistent and to have kind of a frozen face so it's hard to articulate. That's not the goal. All right, I gotta warm up. I'll see you later. Come on, full belly. Come on, I wanna see it. I wanna see the full belly. Do it. Come on, do it. There you go. There it is. There's that full belly look. Good girl. It's a good mama. It's a good mama. I'm coming in. I'm coming in. I'm going right for that belly. I'm going right for the belly. It's almost 9 o'clock and I'm just finishing up another 50 minutes of elliptical, which makes 2 hours and 10 minutes for the day, elliptical, hour and 29 minutes of running. And I can do that kind of volume without getting burned out or injured because of the low intensity that I train at. It also keeps me balanced mentally and emotionally and helps me deal with whatever challenges may show up. It is November 3rd, after all, so who knows what kind of world we're all going to wake up into. So I want to make sure that I'm in a strong mental state. And still committed and able to practice compassion, which is my governing drive now. So, public service announcement, my dad has come down with Lyme disease the third time since June. So he is totally incapacitated right now. My sister and my mom have this thing they call tick eyes. And 2 days ago, they were looking at him and they both agreed that he's got tick eyes. And I've never believed them. Said, oh, you're just whatever, you're seeing things. But yesterday, his balance started to go a bit. And today, he is just out with ridiculous headaches and super high fever. So we brought him to the hospital, and they've got him on antibiotics now, but it'll be a couple days before he's functional again. So Lyme disease is serious business, and the other tick-borne illnesses as well, Babiosa, Ehrlichia, Powassan virus, tick-borne encephalitis, and I'm sure there's a couple others that I'm forgetting. But if you live in an area that has ticks, please, I beg you, check yourself regularly. My dad's 81, so he has a hard time checking himself, moving around. His flexibility is not what it used to be. So the older you get, the more difficult it is, and it's important to find someone that can help you. All right, I think that's it for the day. I will see you tomorrow.